All right. Welcome back to Drunk Comics, Caro.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I am nice and drunk.
Excellent.
I
Then
think
we
that's
have,
the point.
that is the point. So, what comic are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about this comic, which is nice. Nice. Yes, it's nice. It's Nightwing,
Excellent. This is
year
why
one.
I'm starting out wearing this. I'm not going to continue wearing this for the whole time because I will overheat.
And I meant to do a dig through all the clothes I don't wear anymore for my I have a Nightwing t-shirt, but I never found it. So I
Oh,
I did a superficial dig into the stuff I owned, didn't find it, didn't go any further than that. I don't know if it's
you
still there.
tried. You know what? It's a thought that counts. I've
Cool.
got Nightwing Blue for my drink accidentally.
I've got red something or other, which isn't very good, but there's enough
Barbara Gordon
alcohol in
here
it so I
red.
can feel it. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, I'm taking this off.
Yeah,
I
you're
made
getting
it all of
sweaty.
like a minute. I apologize. All right. So, what is this comic about?
So,
Besides Dick.
there's a lot of dick. Uh,
Yes.
so, it's it's kind of a origin story, but actually not a real origin because it's kind of a rebirth. I guess I would say because
Nice.
it I mean it's still the same character except he's going through this change, and I like it because at the very beginning, like the first
Going
few
through a
pages.
change that every young man goes through in his life. Oh, but no. Wait.
You're what is it they say in the Spider-Man movie? You're flowering now or something like that. Never mind. I've seen this movie too many times. So at the beginning of the comic, there's like a brief history of Dick Grayson, where it like kind of tells you like he was born and stuff like that. And I like that because it kind of like gives you the context of like who this character is, and some like important things that happen. Like it tells you that like 10 years before Bruce Wayne fired him. Um, and so when
Because
it
sometimes
happened,
Bruce Wayne sucks as an adoptive parent.
I know, right? He's awful. He's
I
I
love
mean
Bruce,
I
but not the most
I
mentally healthy individual.
no. I adore Bruce Wayne, but in most respects as a human being, he kind of sucks.
Bruce, you need to go
Um,
to therapy. You need to stop dressing up as a fucking bat, taking to the night and beating up criminals, beating up mentally ill criminals, for God's sake,
well,
and go to
yeah,
therapy.
but that's the thing. I think Bruce Wayne doesn't know how to be Bruce Wayne. He only knows how to be Batman. And even then, he's like beating up mentally ill people and putting them back in an
Also,
asylum is
will
kind of,
you
you
stop
know.
adopting people that look like miniature versions of yourself?
I know, and this is the thing
Ew.
that actually happens is in this comic, right? So,
Mhm.
um, so it starts off, and the comic is told from Dick's point of view because he tells it as a kind of a recording he made for Bruce. And so it starts at a point where, and I've got a cheat sheet. I'm sorry because
Go for it. I
and now
love
it
it.
fell on the floor.
You did your homework. You got
Yes, I
drunk
did.
ahead of time and you took notes. You are an
So
excellent pupil.
because
A
I
plus.
read it, I reread it like a few weeks ago when we said we were going to do that, and then I couldn't do it, and so
I couldn't do
it's
it
like
either.
I wrote it all down so I'd remember I wouldn't have to read it all over again for this time anyway. So and so it starts off at a point where there's very clear tensions between Dick and Bruce, and they're not getting along, and Dick does something Bruce doesn't approve of, which is the story of their life, and he fires him again, and this the crazy, not crazy, but I mean you can see it makes sense, is the thing is, seconds after, and like I'm only exaggerating somewhat, seconds after Dick is gone, suddenly there's a new Robin in training. It's like
God damn it,
he
Bruce.
right, he needs, it's
He
like he
needs
needs
Robin.
somebody to it. You know what, it feels like, so when I was in school, they taught us about the Fred Flintstone syndrome, which sounds stupid, but is apparently a smart thing, where you have this character who gets beaten over the head by somebody who's above him. In Flintstone's case, is his boss. Bruce's case, I guess it's every villain in his gallery beating him over the head with something or other, or whatever. And
Literally.
so they transfer this onto somebody else, so they feel a certain sense of power. So you'll see, like, so Fred will be mean to his wife, kind of thing, because his boss is mean to him. Yeah, and you see Bruce kind of needs to have somebody that he can kind of kick around, because he gets kicked around by villains, I suppose, or something like that. Or it
Bruce,
really
just go to
feels
fucking
like that.
therapy, man.
I know. I know.
Your parents were murdered in front of you when you were 8 years old, and
Oh
you
yeah,
never
he
dealt with
had
it, and this is the
issues.
issue.
He has issues for sure, but so it kind of feels like that, where it's like he absolutely needs to have somebody under him that he can like push around, and I don't know, because that's what basically he's not. I mean, I don't think he's been very nice to any of the Robins, like any of them, and I don't think he even tries. Sorry, this is alcohol. I don't think he even tries to be. And you've
It's
got
sad.
Alfred.
You know what? In Bruce's defense, when he's written well, he is a good dad,
Mhm.
father figure. It's just
Yeah, I've read other comics where he's a lot more, let's say, nurturing, and maybe it has to do with the people writing him. But in
but
this,
in the Nightwing origin story, it kind of needs him to be a shitty father figure
oh
so
yeah,
Dick can go out and fly on his own. Pun absolutely intended.
yeah. Oh, he's a dick. He's a dick to Dick, which
Bruce
is
is a dick.
um, and one of the interesting things in this comic is that when he speaks of the dynamic between when Dick speaks of the dynamic between himself and Bruce and Alfred, he literally talks of it as a family unit. Like this is his family, and I like that. But you know that Alfred is so much more nurturing, is so much more caring, and I think that's his reason for being there anyway. But he's like, I mean, at the very start, so just before Bruce fires Dick. So that's the actually second time, according to this comic, it's the second time in his career that it's like, go away because you did something that I don't like, and that's at a point where like Alfred had just made a brand new costume for Robin, and it's like,
So rude
oh,
to Alfred.
Alfred is so nice, and it's like, Bruce, you're an asshole. And there's this one thing in this comic that I love, and I didn't remember that it was in this comic at all. And when I reread it and I discovered it was in this, I like I did the happy dance in my office. You have no idea. So on there's one Wikipedia. It's not Wikipedia, but it's one wiki where they explain who all the DC characters are. And for the life of me, I couldn't tell you which wiki it is even. I don't know. I just have a snapshot of it that I keep reposting to Facebook every year because it comes back as a memory at some point. Um, and um, and it's got like a description of Dick Grayson, which says that he's friends with Clark Kent because they both like hockey. And like, I am a massive hockey fan. Like, I was born into it. So I'm a massive hockey fan. And so there's that little wiki entry says, so at one point they meet and they tell Lois Lane that they're friends because they're hockey fans, and Lois doesn't believe it because Clark has never talked about hockey before. It's in this comic. It's in here, and I was like, yes!
And that is why you love this comic so much.
Well,
mystery solved.
I didn't even remember that this was in there because reading it on the wiki, I mean, I'd read this like several years ago. This is from a while back. And I kept seeing that thing from the wiki because I posted it on Facebook the first time I saw it, and I keep reposting it because Facebook shows it to me every damn year. And so I repost it and I laugh every time because it's cute. And I know that this year when it came up, I said, I wish I knew where this was from. And I read it and it was like, and I was like so happy. And
You
I was
are
like,
welcome. That's the magic of drunk comics.
that was like
Magic of drunk comics.
perfect. And I was like, I swear, I was sitting in my office right here and I was reading it and taking some notes and stuff. And like, I was like, this is where it's from. It's like it's like I was meant to read it all over again so I could remember. But I had literally no memory that this was there. And I think it's cute too that like they showed this relationship, not just because of that, but the relationship between Dick and Clark, which is a lot saner.
I also feel like it's fitting that both Dick and Clark love hockey because I feel like they both have the souls of Canadians.
They might.
Don't they? They're both so polite and considerate and like both kind of always thinking of others. And
well, so one of Superman's creators was from Toronto, I think. I know he was Canadian. Yeah. At one point,
did I not remember that? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I have to turn to my Superman fan card.
I can never remember which one it is, but one of them is Canadian. And
I believe you, but I have to turn to my Superman fan card because I forgot that for a minute.
When I was younger, I'm gonna say in my 20s, so a long time ago, I remember they made posting stamps to celebrate the great Canadians at one point, and there was a Superman stamp, and I have it somewhere in my collection of odd things that I keep. I don't know where it is from the last time I moved, but yeah.
I'm gonna look that up and add that to a little scrolly thing on this video because I vaguely remember reading about that. Like he must have moved to Cleveland where he hooked up with the other. Okay, that makes sense. That actually explains a lot about Superman because Superman really does have the soul of a Canadian.
Well, yeah, and he's an immigrant and stuff, and I guess that
and as a Canadian, do you not agree that he has the soul of a Canadian?
Yeah, he sounds like the type of people we would be, I guess. He's kind of nice and very apologetic.
You're like, I'm going to walk on eggshells and not take this American hero away from the Americans, or else they're going to
But that is like one of the things that they tell us every single time because it's, I guess, a point of pride. One of the creators, I love that. I can't swear if he was from here, literally. I mean, think so. But
I'll fact check it.
he lived here for very sure, because they keep telling us every chance they have, they keep telling us that
Yeah,
Superman is partly Canadian for that reason.
that's so cute. And Dick Grayson traveled all over the place, so no doubt he visited Canada at some
Oh,
point in
oh.
time and fell in love with hockey. Headcanon. Okay, anyways, go on. Go on with what you
Mind
were
you,
saying.
they're apparently both fans of the Metropolis team. So, and it's funny because actually in the dialogue, so like Clark tries to prove to Lois that it's true what Dick just said, that they're both hockey fans, and Clark actually mentions the game from the night before, which I didn't put in my notes, so I can't tell you exactly what he says. But
Oh,
he makes a comment about the game, and you're like, yeah, whoever wrote this, they know. They understand, because
I
there's
wonder
like
if the
clearly,
writer is Canadian. At the very least,
I
the writer is a hockey fan.
I could not tell you where the writers are. I honestly, I'm bad
I'm
at
also gonna
this. I
fact check
don't know
that and
writers
like
very much.
put that on a scrolly thing.
But
Man, I'm making a lot of work for myself with editing. Future
sorry,
Kelly is gonna be cursing drunk Kelly.
sorry. But like this is one of the things that like makes me like this comic even more, because it kind of brings some of my fandoms together, some of the stuff I love so much. Like I am so in love with Dick Grayson. I can't even express, like, to me he's just the perfect character. Like
Mhm.
he's a great mix between Superman and Batman. Like he's their
Yes.
love child. Somewhere, somehow, he's their
Mhm.
love child. And like he's a perfect mix of very smart detective and kick-ass whatever martial art, whatever it is. And he has all the goodness that Superman has, that Batman absolutely does not have, but Superman has. Like he has a heart of gold, and
Yep.
Dick has that. And so, and this entire comic, even like it's told as a recording, and Dick keeps on like explaining how he's trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to show Bruce, he's trying to like make himself worthy, and be the be the right person for the job and stuff, which is the kind of thing that Superman might worry about, but Batman probably doesn't, you know? And so and I love that, like, he's so sweet, and he's so like, and he'll literally, and even in this comic, like he'll literally kill himself to do the job right. At one point in the comic, there's an attack on the president, and you see Dick literally, like, he's on the point of like giving his life up for somebody else.
Yep.
And of course, Superman intervenes, but he's this is the job to him. It's like the I'm gonna make a Star Trek reference, but the good of the many outweighs the good of the one. So, and I think
Oh yeah.
he truly lives that way, and believes that, and I love him for it, and just, I mean, and he's cute too. He's not always drawn cute, but Jesus, when he's drawn well.
Oh, for real. And it's very canon that Dick Grayson is like one of the hottest men in the DC universe. Like that's just
Yeah.
canon. Come on now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, Batman is Superman's love child. How could he not be the
Right?
hottest superhero around? He's got the good looks from two of the best looking ones.
Hello. Yes. Also, his name is Dick. Um, uh,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. There's a lot to live up.
Yeah.
It's super cute, and like I like the that part of interaction where like he'll go and seek refuge in a sense with Superman after Batman kicks him out because like where the hell is he
Of
gonna
course,
go?
it's going to mom.
And I
Sorry.
like the fact that the
Sorry, but
entire like
Superman is mom.
Nightwing name comes from Superman because it's from a Kryptonian superhero, and this is where it comes from. So it's like I like that. It's sweet and it's it's well done, and I really like. I mean, I'm the hugest sucker for her origin stories, but this one is just, and it's not really an origin story. Like I said, it was more like a rebirth kind of thing, but it it dives into who this character is and why he is this way and why he's doing that. I mean, they have him go back to the circus and where it started. They showed that his first Nightwing costume is kind of a play on what his father used to wear. And it's like that makes it, I don't know, it makes it precious. It's just, I love it. It's and there's like great moments in this. So there's one that I love when he goes back to, and I have it written down, so I'm looking down. So he goes back to Gotham and he meets with Commissioner Gordon. So he introduces himself and says he's Nightwing, and Gordon eventually recognizes him as Robin. And
Gordon's no dummy.
right, so he knows exactly who he's talking to and stuff. And so they have this nice conversation about stuff, so they're not, they both know they're in this together kind of thing. And so at the end of the conversation, Gordon says he has to go because he's having dinner with his daughter, at which point Nightwing says he hopes he'll be introduced to her because she sounds like a nice girl. And Barbara is somewhere just off camera kind of thing, and she overhears the comments. It's just, no, she isn't. She's not a nice girl. But I love it. It's like,
kick your ass, Dick.
I love it. It's like, it's this perfect little moment of, he knows perfectly well who Gordon's daughter is because obviously, and there's this subtle little
She
joke
was like
because
his first kiss, I'm pretty sure. Come on.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And they might have been sleeping together just before that too. I'm not absolutely sure.
I don't think they
I
slept
keep
together
forgetting.
until well later, but maybe, I don't know.
It could be. I'm not entirely certain
But
about
still,
that.
yeah.
But it's like yeah. And
There's history there.
yeah. But it's
I
like
don't know if
it's
you
super
read
cute.
Batgirl Year One, but Batgirl Year One's really cute too.
Yeah, I think I have that. I don't remember when I read it last, but yeah, that was cute too. But I think it's nice that like so Dick is making this kind of inside joke-ish thing that you kind of giggle because you know what he's saying. Gordon doesn't understand, but it's like it's funny, and then you discover that Barbara was just she was there and she overheard and she's like, no, I'm not a nice girl. And I
Like,
think it's
no, you
just
moron.
it's like, but I mean, obviously it's ironic, and so it's sarcastic, I should say. Of course she's a nice girl, but no, she's not a nice girl. It's perfect. It's just this little moment of nice storytelling, nice writing, just and
Delightful.
yeah. And then the rest of the comic is about it's like, so Dick has been in the circus, then he goes back to Gotham and he's trying to please, uh, not please Bruce, but I mean, he's trying to make a name for himself and he goes through almost the entire gallery of rogues and stuff. And he ends up in a fight against the new Robin because there is one, and he's tricked into it by Babs actually, which is sad, but whatever. And so it was kind of a like I'm going to say rite of passage for the new Robin to kind of get into a specific fight of sorts, which is all arranged by Batman, which pisses me off because why would you do that?
Again, Bruce, go to therapy. Stop. adopting orphans that look like you and fucking with their heads.
So the thing is, neither of them are actually adopted, right? Dick is his ward. He's not technically adopted.
Okay,
And Jason, by that time,
worse.
yeah. Jason at that time, I don't know if Jason ever got adopted, but at that time, he's most certainly isn't, you know. So I don't, you know.
I feel like that makes it worse.
But it's just, you know what? Having the kid you brought up fight against the kid you've now decided to train is just it's just an awful thing to do. Just no. Like no. I love you, Bruce, but no. Anyway, but eventually, I mean, it kind of works out because they sort of both Robin and Nightwing sort of realize. Sorry, my phone went off. Realize that they've been tricked into this, and they kind of not make a pact, but kind of like have an understanding that they're on the same side, which I think is nice. You know, I was like, because Jason's gonna need a lot of help.
Poor Jason. Ugh. Spoilers.
And then Batman gets shot and blah blah blah, and Alfred is kidnapped and blah 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 and la la la. You can read the rest, and it's kind of sad, but it works out in the end because it always works out in the end. And then you see the very very last. I don't know if there's an image of it. I think there is. At the very very end of it, Dick receives a package where he lives now and opens it up to find a new costume, which is the awful. I don't know if you can see it here.
But it was sewn by Alfred. It was made with love because Alfred is stuck in the disco era. Alfred, we love you.
Because this story, which this is from like 2005, I'm gonna say, I think.
Oh God, Alfred, we love you.
But it's kind of a retelling of story that fills in the blank of stuff that's already happened. We've seen the frilly costume like a long time ago, but I find it so amusing that it's like Alfred made it. It's like God, I love Alfred.
So cute. It's so cute. It's as cute as Martha Kent making Clark Kent's first costume in Lois and Clark. And I love it so much. I love the idea of Alfred sitting down to a sewing machine or whatever he used to fabricate that and just deciding, you know what? He needs that like pay ass collar.
And there's at the end too, there's kind of he's going against Bruce's wishes too, because he's helping out Dick, which he's not supposed to be, but Batman, even though he's been shot, is still being a dick because, I mean, he does that.
Not to be confused with Dick Grayson. Batman is a dick. Dick Grayson is the dick.
He has a dick, but that's besides the point.
Everyone we're talking about has a dick except for Batgirl.
Yeah, right. And I don't know why I even said that.
Because we're making all the dick jokes. We kind of promised that with your last episode.
I feel like we missed several opportunities to make
We missed a lot of opportunities. So dick. Those were not very funny dick jokes. I think I'm too drunk to make witty dick jokes. That's depressing.
I don't think I'm witty enough to make any. It's more of my problem.
Yeah, that's okay. It was still entertaining.
And so, but all in all, like this is a really this is a nice story, and this is like I was really happy to read it again. I'm just I mean, stories about Nightwing always make me happy, even though they make me really, really sad because like he gets really hurt or he gets stuff happens to him that's not fun and whatever,
The
which I'm
writers
not
like
gonna
to
talk about. But
torture.
yeah, yeah,
What else do you want to say about the comic? Anything?
I don't know. I can show you one thing though. I can show you one thing really
Yes.
quick, which has nothing to do with this comic. It's something else entirely. So this is obviously not Dick. It's Thor.
I see
So
that.
I
He's
don't know
kind of
if you can
showing
see
off
the
his dick.
title at the bottom there.
Oh,
I whom the gods may might destroy
I
or
whom the
something.
gods
Destroy.
would destroy. Okay.
So that is the very, very first comic I ever read. Um, I didn't actually grow up with like comic books like the regular because this is obviously a paperback, but the regular ones. I'm I'm old, right? Um, and people didn't. I mean, I know that they sold them in the convenience store when I was a kid, but girls didn't buy them back then, and my brother wasn't interested, so there were no comics at home. Like I knew comics and stuff. And so, but this Thor was the very, very first comic book that I ever read. My
I love it.
brother bought it for me before I went, we call it college, but it's not really college anyway. It's Cégep in Quebec. It's Cégep. And so I was 17. I was moving out like 500 kilometers away from home. And my brother gave me Thor. And that was like the very, very first. That's what
Aw.
made me like completely fall in love with all these stories and characters. Like, because
I love
besides knowing about Superman, obviously, and like Super Friends and the Spider Man, and we used to sing the song in French. We used to sing the song from the show.
Are
The
you drunk enough to
translation.
sing the song or no? I shouldn't put you on.
I'm sure I am. In French, the song from so in English it's Spider Man does whatever a spider can.
Yes.
In French it's l'araignée, l'araignée. Shit, no, I can't remember. All I remember is the lyrics we made up for hockey. So never mind. Which was
Fine.
a joke where not joke, but like a play on. So we'd go like as if Spider Man had passed the puck to a hockey player. Anyway, I don't, but it's l'araignée, l'araignée, something or other, because they called him l'araignée. Anyway,
I love
but
it.
yeah, so it's like, because besides knowing about all these characters, I'd never actually read a comic book before I was 17, and my brother gave me Thor, and that's
I
a
never
really
read a
bad
comic book until I was
this.
like 25, so
This is a very bad story. It's it's kind of offensive. It's not good. I would not recommend it to anyone.
it's
Um,
0 out of 10.
yeah, no. Well, maybe a one because oh god, he's cute. But it's kind of
Especially the
offensive.
Marvel movies.
It's kind of it's very cis male, cis white male, and yeah, not. But sorry, but that was the very first comic I read, which I won. Sorry, drunk. I wanted to show you at some point, so there you go.
That is amazing. I love hearing your origin story. I love that so much.
I remember like reading it. I was on the bus, so going from my father's home when I was leaving. I was going for the very first time, like leaving Montreal and going all the way to school, 500 kilometers away. And I was sitting in this bus, like big city, not city bus, like not regular transit, but the fancy big buses that go intercities.
Right.
And I'm never done that before. I was afraid. I didn't know where I was like I knew where I was going, but I didn't know where I was going. And I was like and I had a comic book to kind of settle me with, and that was like it kind of made everything better. So yeah. So my little brother gave me that. It's one of the nicest things he's done for me. So,
And he gave you the gift of a lifelong love of comics. That's
He gave me
amazing.
several more afterwards, but that was the first one. So
That
it's
is
special.
so sweet. Oh my gosh. That is the perfect note to end the episode on. I love it.
That's a bad comic. It's a good story.
It's a bad comic, but a sweet brotherly love moment that is a totally awkward sentence because I'm drunk.
That's fine. So I didn't understand everything you just said.
It was not very coherent English.
It's okay.
And English is your second language. So it was drunk girl English.
That's fine.
Which is like a whole language of its own.
That's fine. Like drunk French girl English is better.
Drunk French girl English. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. We're at the point of the night where it does. Thank you so much for coming back.
I'm so glad you had me back. It was so much fun.
I'm so happy. You are only my second guest to return, so you are very special.
I feel very, very special. Thank you so much.
Very
I love talking about comics.
I love it too.
I like complaining about them, but okay.
Okay, I love that too. I love loving on comics too, but it's fun to complain about them too. But this was fun. This is very fun.
Nice.
There were less dick jokes, like I said, than I thought there would be. So I feel like I'm gonna have to just voice over in some dick jokes. I'm so
well, you could put them in little bubbles, and that's too much work. But you could put them in little bubbles.
Oh no!
Insert dick joke here.
Never underestimate my dedication to making some good dick jokes. I feel like I might have to do that.
So this video was supposed to have dick jokes in it. Unfortunately,
dick jokes. Here are the dick jokes.
I mean, honestly, I'm not witty enough to think of any. This is sad.
I can't.
I mean, besides his absolutely horrendous costume, which there's another picture of here.
It's so bad. It's good.
I know, right? And it's I don't know what the right word is. Décolleté up to here. It's opened up to.
Yep, a V-neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it better in French. Can you say that again, please?
Décolleté. I think you guys say décolletage, but it's not actually the right word. But I think in English you guys use décolletage.
So much better. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Okay, thank you again.
You're so welcome.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right.